How did they get this table in here? Do you have any idea?
I think it was brought in piece by piece and then built here.
Oh, okay.
But there was a whole process. I'll show you the.
There's not much. There was a little bit of a seam. Okay.
Yeah, and there's also chairs that are in the living room.
Yeah, I saw marble. Yeah,
that are gigantic. Here you have living room, little speaker, everything's huge glass, lots of plants around.
So what is this rent for?
On average, I would say about $1,400 US a night.
Is that in the States or is that in the peak or
average year?
So summer, say 2,000 in peak, maybe 2,200 in peak, and then
like in January. I think in January we were able to get $4K a night.
Really?
January was quite good. And then right now it's at about 1,100 on weekdays and about 1,200, 300 on weekends.
Okay, but not a bad deal because you said it sleeps 12 people.
Yeah, it sleeps 10 comfortably, and then there's a 6th bedroom with bunk beds.
Okay.
So usually that's for either kids or staff or people who pay less.
Okay.
The pool color is inspired from cenote.
Yeah.
That's kind of like dark colors. The whole house is kind of like what's interesting about it for me.
Yeah.
It's that it's brutalist. It looks unfinished, but then it's gray everywhere. But then there's lots of plants.
Yeah.
That brings life. Plants, wood.
Yeah. I really like the finish.
Yeah.
I think it fits well for Mexico. I mean, for this part of Mexico.
For me, this is the literal most representative house of Tulum in my mind.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like what Tulum represents.
And what's the name of this house?
Casa Shelva.
Casa Shelva. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they comfortable?
Sure. I haven't sat in one of these and said, actually quite comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
I wouldn't watch a movie from here, but I'd have a conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
You do the interview from here.
Yeah.
And then, so on the ground floor, this was thought to receive groups, to receive people, to have small events. We've had boutique weddings here. So the owner did set up 2 bathrooms that are completely detached. So like if you have inviteds over, like people have their bathroom. Here you have one of the primaries. Here we have one of the bathrooms.
Very nice.
So branded, everything's branded.
Oh, really? So you're using all your own stuff?
Yeah. Little touches that we add to make the experience a little bit more special for the guests and more unique.
So Loco Luxury, how did you come up with that name?
Funny story, actually. My business partner, his background is real estate investment.
Yeah.
And so he came to Tulum during COVID.
I'm trying to figure out if this door is hollow or not.
I don't think so.
If it's not, it's only the second. It's not very heavy. It doesn't feel heavy.
Yeah. Here you have this cute little path right here.
Yeah, it takes it back to the pool, and you even have a fire out here, huh?
No wood.
Yeah,
I think it's not creation, to be honest. I've never seen somebody do a fire. So basically, he came here during COVID, found an investment opportunity.
Yeah,
a really interesting house. Went back to Montreal, found investors, and when they purchased it, the way he structured the deal is instead of getting a finder's fee, he took a percentage of ownership in the property.
Okay.
And that first house, he called it Loco Mango.
Loco Mango?
Yeah, because he's just that's a very gringo name.
Yeah.
And he's not Latin or anything, so he wanted something that everybody would be able to say.
Yeah.
Everybody would be able to understand. Second primary.
Okay.
I think this one's even bigger.
Yeah, it's nice. I would live here for sure.
And then you have this is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I've got a friend of mine building a 5-bedroom house. I believe it's 5 bedrooms now. The ways up there. It's between Akamal and like Tanka Bay. I think it might be Akamal Sur. That's what it's called.
And well, basically, long story short, we wanted to offer luxury, but without the fancy connotation of being like this.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody has access to luxury,
Right.
and you don't have to be stuck up to enjoy it.
Right.
So Loco luxury, a little bit of yin and yang to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outdoor shower, lounge area, little bar for hosting.
So it'd be nice if you brought a chef in. They could maybe hang out
Come
up
up
there.
here. Here you can do mixology as well.
Yeah.
Hang out.
It'd be interesting to stock that.
Yeah, we offer the services to stock the fridge.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So what's the square footage on this thing?
I would need to see with the owner. I think it's
I know you're not trying to resell, so that's
Exactly,
not
yeah.
relevant to you. But
it is like
it's got to be in the listing, though.
it's not for sale on the Airbnb listing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something like 2,500 square feet, maybe more.
No. It's more than 2,500 meters.
Square meters. Then exactly.
Yeah. It's, oh, huge.
Yeah, there's still another story. There's another bedroom right here.
You gotta have.
So 6 because the 2 downstairs are half.
Yeah, but you see, you got 6 full, 2 halves, 3 halves, 3 halves. So you basically have 7 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Or no, 9.
There's a bathroom for each bedroom.
Right. There's one over here in this utility closet.
That's for the bunk bedroom.
Oh,
So it's not an ensuite, so that one's for the bunk bedroom, and then there are 2 that are there.
Okay.
But this one has a shower, so it's technically a
so it has 8. Okay. These are still really good size.
Yeah, and they're stunning.
Yeah. It's interesting that they use the black finishes
Everywhere.
because that's like kind of the new thing
Yeah.
is the black, and you don't see that a lot in Mexico.
Interesting.
Most of it, they're still using chrome and brushed nickel. And this is just a closet over here, right?
Yeah. I really like here. What I like is the gigantic windows and plants. Like the windows, they're inside, so it looks kind of like a piece of art, you know.
Yeah. So that must be community property here.
Right here? Yeah. All around, yeah.
So they left a green space there. Which is good. Yeah, it's a good idea for built-ins. It's got a little it's like a scent in here.
Yeah. Little perfume.
Yeah.
I think it's this. Oh, no, that's it.
Yeah, they did a solid job on putting it together. No cracks anywhere.
No, it took us a lot of work to make sure that this house was perfect when we took it on.
Yeah.
Because it's very new. And this is, you know,
Okay. Yeah, that's very.
very small. So I don't usually sell it as a 12 person, but
Yeah.
if people insist, then they have the option.
Okay. Yeah, you're almost putting them in a closet.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's mostly for like if they have staff.
yeah.
Like a stay-at-home, like a cleaner, nanny.
All right. You got a pool up there?
Yep. Little rooftop plunge pool.
Yeah, that's nice doing that. Wow. So do you heat this then?
No,
Not now, but in the winter?
I don't think this one's heated. No.
Okay. I was curious because like that place Kungata, they have probably the coolest rooftop pool
That you've seen.
in Playa.
Yeah.
Well, probably that I've ever seen, but definitely the coolest one in Playa. What they did was they built up the floor.
Okay.
So basically the floor is
At the same height.
at the same height.
Yeah, for sure you need to do that.
And then you just walk right into it.
Yeah, the only other way is that here, this was glass, and
Yeah.
then you put the floor here.
Yeah.
That would be really nice as well. But like this, you do it like this when you have no choice. Because like if you had to build up all the way here, all of that would have been dead space. Additional
Well,
cost.
what you can do though is you can keep the pool the same depth, but you can take this and instead of raising everything to this level, the deck,
Yeah,
you raise it up another 5 feet. Where are you from?
Montreal.
Okay, so you raise it up another
5 feet is fine.
Okay. So you raise it up like another 5 feet, and then now the space is like, I don't know, 9 foot ceiling. And so it's now you can make a bedroom here with a
with the little pool. Okay, yeah.
right, you know,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
walk right into your pool. Man, it's a very good view.
Yeah.
It was nice we got some rain and cooled off a bit too.
Yeah.
It's been so damn hot. So I believe Western civilization is crashing, and so I'm trying to bring a. So I used to be on the other end. I used to be in the U.S. I was like constantly talking about politics and things got to change, things got to change. And I moved down here, and it's like, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, there's like really nothing I can do. It's going to crash. I looked at the debt to GDP and all that, and the United States is holding like 325 trillion in debt when they started stealing from Social Security like under Reagan. And they were like basically saying, okay, we're going to take out a trillion here, and then we just owe the Social Security fund $1 trillion. So they're taking out so much money now that the people that are working, there's I want to say it's $125 trillion deficit, I believe, on their retirements. So they're that short on the retirements. And then when you look at the total debt of the U.S., it's 325 trillion. And their total assets are like 270 trillion. So if you sold absolutely everything in the United States, including the military and all the equipment and every square inch of land, every business, and you got full market value for it, you would be, 55 trillion short of paying off the debt. So anyway, so I guess my thing now is it's like, okay, I want to try to educate people that there is another life.
Yeah.
You don't have to live in the United States or Canada, that, Mexico is a good option. And then I just try to give them my perspective. So, I feel much safer in Mexico than I do in any city in the U.S. And then even in my house here, I never worry about anybody breaking into my house. But in the U.S., I lived in the suburbs, very nice community. And I was always like, did we lock the door? Do we got the alarm set? Is everything? I mean, it was just because drug addicts and stuff are breaking into houses in all throughout, the United States. So anyway, so my thing is I try to educate people on what's available, and I like looking at houses. So like, my ex-wife and I used to take vacations, and I would just look at houses. Like we'd be in Florida, like I want to go look at these houses, or we'd be in Mexico and I want to go just look at some houses. And so I like looking at houses, and I like kind of promoting what I see in Mexico, because every day in Mexico gets a little better, and that's kind of what I do. What's kind of what I'm doing. But then from a vision standpoint, right now I'm just doing Riviera Maya, and I need to figure out how to do all of Mexico. And then once I do all of Mexico, then I want to do El Salvador, Colombia, and Argentina.
Okay, and you want to live in those places as well? I'm
for a while, yeah. So I need to figure out how to clone myself, essentially, to get somebody to do what I'm doing. So after I kind of get everything going here, then my next step is probably to go to Cabo, and so then I'll do the same thing in Cabo.
Okay,
but I'll have to find somebody to do what I'm doing here.
Yeah,
and then what I'm doing is we do like a showcase. So this is a hybrid because you're not selling it, and I'm doing it like for free. It's not normally we do like a showcase, and then the client would either pay us.
Okay, and then if they sell, you make a percentage, or they pay you up front.
We do it two different ways. We do it like, okay, you can pay up front and pay a lower commission, or don't pay anything but let us stay in the house. So like let us stay there for 3 days. So I'll bring my girlfriend, Ruben, the videographer, and then usually Beckett, his girlfriend, and Trent and his girlfriend. We'll just all hang out at the house, take lots of footage, do the walkthroughs. But we call that showcase. And then I'll also talk at the end on most of those episodes, and the new ones we're doing. We'll get on Air DNA, and I'll just talk about here's what it's renting for today, or if it's not in the rental market, we would say this is what we think.
Yeah.
So I do a showcase, and then I do another like House Hunters. Are you familiar with House Hunters International? So we started doing another house, like a House Hunter International type show, where we look at 3 houses. We pick which one we think would be the best house to live in, and then we or at the end, I go through and use AirDNA to evaluate all three houses, and I pick a second winner based on investment. So,
Okay.
one house that would, the first house is which one we want to live in right now. The second house that we choose for winner is, best investment.
Okay.
So
Well, this one is not officially for sale,
yeah,
but there is a price that the owner would be open to getting it for.
so what would he take?
This currently, he's told me he would accept 2.8.
2.8.
Yeah.
And what's it generating in gross rental?
I think we're averaging about 20. That's across both properties. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 19K a month.
Okay.
So I'd have to get you the exact numbers because we have all of the data.
So 18 or 19. So say it's 20K. So you're at 24,000. I know a lot of people, they won't touch an investment for under a 10%. I think
Yeah, the thing here is like properties like this, they're located in the most prestigious neighborhood, that it's built out. The property has a ton of traction, like on social media, has had reviews and write about it. So like properties like these, purely for an investment, this is not made, like, I don't think the purchase price for the investment would be, you'd make your money back very quickly. I think this is like a longer term play, because like the property is spectacular,
right?
But it wasn't designed specifically to be sold.
Right.
The owner just would accept it, but he made this house for himself, and to generate some money.
It's generating a lot of money. That's for
yeah.
I need to connect you with a guy in Cabo. He has two houses. And
what's the name of the house? Well, I was just there. I was in Todos Santos.
I can't remember the guy's name. The guy's famous. He's supposedly made or from what I can tell from his Instagram, he's got like, I think, over 1 million followers, and he made his money gambling on sports. So now he runs like I think he does sign like a newsletter or a tips type of thing. But he bought two houses, and I think they're 12-bedroom homes, I think. And he's bringing in, if I remember right, about 200,000 gross a month.
A month. Cabo prices, yeah.
Yeah, Cabo's way more expensive.
Yeah, the house that I'll show you next time you're here, Casa Arca, I think it's like 60 or 70 a month.
All right. Well, tell me exactly what you do, Alex. So we're going to interview you, and I've done a lot of talking. So
I was interested in you. Yeah, I'm interested in.
So Alex, how do you say your last name? Vilera?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, and then you moved here 2 years ago or so?
Yeah, so I moved here 2.5 years ago. I come from hospitality background. I worked for Club Med.
Oh, really?
For 5 years.
Okay.
Traveling around the Caribbean, worked for them for a while, worked my way up within the company. And then my business partner and I played American football together back in the day. And then one day he invited me for a coffee, told me he had an idea for me.
To what level did you play football?
University ball.
What college?
University of Montreal.
Of Montreal, okay. American football in Montreal.
Exactly. Canada actually invented American football.
Really?
University of McGill.
Really?
Against the University of New York there. What's the known university in New York? No, not New York, like Yale or something like that. It was like Montreal versus one of the Ivy League schools.
Really?
Yeah. But the U.S. definitely perfected it. And so his background is real estate investment. My background is hospitality. We linked up. He had a property here that he wanted me to help manage. Mm-hmm. I came down, started managing that place. I had some other projects, and then from word of mouth, people started asking us to manage their property as well.
Right.
And we quickly realized that one of the rarest things in Tulum, and I think in the entire Riviera Maya, are companies that, like proper management companies that will take their job very seriously, that are in it for the long term, that will take care of the property and like raise the value over time. And so we saw a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And so in the past year, we've been lucky enough and extremely grateful to represent some of the nicest properties in Tulum. And so the vision now for us is to be owners or co-owners of a collection of the nicest properties in key destinations around the world.
Okay. So you're wanting to start buying?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many houses? You have 16 houses now or 20 houses?
20 houses, yeah.
And you're trying to grow that to 30 or 40 or?
Not in Tulum.
Not in Tulum.
The objective is to remain niche,
Yeah.
but to only have the nicest properties.
Okay.
So within the next 6 months, we're dropping 6 properties
Okay.
that no longer fit within the standards that we're looking for.
And why is that?
Right now, the only properties that we're taking on to management are 6+ bedrooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we want to be very niche in the luxury group travel market.
Okay. So any 5 bedroom? Well, this one is a 6.
Yeah.
Kind of a 6 bedroom.
Yeah, this one is.
So you're keeping this one?
Yeah, this one is the standard is put in place, but there are obviously exceptions that can be made.
Yeah.
Like this place is extremely special and represents Tulum for me.
Right.
So I think this place would still fit. This is one of the nicest properties in Tulum, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice place.
So, and the other point is that it needs to generate on average 1,500 or more a night.
Okay.
And this fits within that, even though it has slightly less bedrooms.
So you want to scale this? So you're going to scale next, say in Cancun, or are you going to scale Playa? Or are you going to go jump and go to
the next destination?
Puerto Vallarta? Or
it's going to be very important for us to. It's a very important thing to pick because Tulum has such an importance, like a hype kind of worldwide, that I want our next destination to have that same kind of something special. So for me, like I love Playa del Carmen. That would not be somewhere that I see that has that same kind of iconic nature as Tulum.
Right.
Tulum has its own like mood board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's its own aesthetic. It's its own everything. So potentially, markets, I'm just throwing names out there, but we don't have anywhere yet. Like Bali, Mykonos, Ibiza, Cabo, Medellin, like all of these places that are like have a spotlight on them and they're really booming right now.
Yeah.
Those are places that would interest us because it's also a place where there's a lot of group travel.
Really? So you haven't decided though where you're headed?
Not yet.
But
No.
you're still looking.
Yeah, the objective is to figure out the exact recipe here.
Yeah.
And then to reproduce that everywhere rather than go into another market and try to open up shop and then like acquire one property and the other is to like figure out the proper recipe here, structure, and then go somewhere else and just know exactly what we're doing and just scale it that way.
That's a good idea. I know when you're taking it from 20 houses down to 12, or what's that, 14?
Yeah.
But you'll build it back. Eventually you'll get more houses, right?
We're like turning them as we do it. So we're getting a 12-bedroom villa that's on Tulum Beach.
Okay.
It'll be the only one that's on Tulum Beach that's large, like a large villa. So that one is going to be, we're currently starting the process of renovating it right now. So it should be ready for high season. And so we're offboarding 6, taking 1, and then we might be taking on a few other properties if they fit within the standards.
And what's the most famous house you have? Because I think you have the Tulum party house, right?
Casa Don Rey.
Yeah.
No, that's on the street. It's right next to here.
Isn't that where they do all the parties?
Huge parties. Yeah, there's an indoor nightclub.
But the one I'm thinking of is
Casa Art.
Is it? Yeah.
The one that has like the arches and the waterfall and the like.
I've never been there. I just,
Is it like a pale color?
I don't remember. But it was supposed to be like the party house at Tulum. But
That's Casa Don Rey.
That's what you have.
That one, yeah, that one's been up and running since 2021.
Yeah.
We took management of it 9 months, a year ago.
Yeah.
That one's on the street. And in the basement, there's actually a nightclub that's fully soundproof.
Really?
And that gives access, like a glass wall that gives access to the pool from the basement. And in the bottom of the pool, there's a Buddha.
Yeah.
So it's like a piece of art that you see from the nightclub that's in the pool. And there have been parties there of, 100, 200 people. We charge an event fee when people want to do something like that.
Okay.
And then we allow the parties and we hire security and we make sure that everything's on the up and up. We let the government know and stuff like that. But that house is definitely famous in Tulum.
So how often do people have parties there? I mean, is it pretty common that you're having an event type thing there?
An event fee and stuff like that, not that often.
Probably in January for sure.
Yeah, in January we had some big events there, lots of after parties.
Yeah.
Usually what people do, like from the house sleeps 26.
Wow.
So up until 40 people.
Yeah.
Like if they're 26 and they invite some friends over, up until 40, we don't charge anything. It's fine. Right. It's like part of the experience of the house. Right. And so a lot of people.
Well, what does that thing rent for?
That one rents for approximately, like, on average, 3,500 a night. It's 10 bedrooms.
But if you had, I don't know, you said 26?
26.
So he has 13 bedrooms?
There's 10 bedrooms.
Okay. So,
and then one of the bedrooms has two,
like 4 beds or something?
Yeah, exactly. 2 bunk beds that are king size.
Okay.
And 2 normal bunk beds.
Okay, so you have 9 standalone bedrooms.
Yeah, so like 18.
So you could put 18 people or 9 couples could stay there.
Exactly.
And if you divide that into 3,000, that's pretty inexpensive.
The price per bedroom is very affordable, especially compared to the beach.
Right.
And compared to the experience that we offer. Like the house comes with a butler, with a private chef, with a cleaning staff. It comes with everything. There's an indoor movie room.
Wow. Now this house comes with. You can get a chef, but it doesn't come with a chef.
Exactly. This house doesn't include a chef with the book.
So for $3,000 a night, that includes the maid service, the maid, the housekeeper, or the
concierge, butler, chef.
Wow. That's crazy. That's not a bad deal. I mean,
yeah, the property is, very, very booked and very in demand.
So do you have a website?
Yeah.
And what is your website? Just Loco?
Loco.luxury.
Loco.luxury?
Yeah, no.com.
Okay. Loco.luxury.
Yeah.
And people can they book through you? Do they book through there and Airbnb, or how do they find the property?
They can book on any platform that they would like. We're on over 16 platforms.
Okay.
But if they're looking for the best price, it'll always be if they book directly through our website. We always offer 5% off.
Right.
Less expensive than on any website.
Well, yeah, and then you're not having to pay a third party a fee and anything like that. So that's smart.
Yeah. And I would be more than open. You said that usually when you have a guest and you do the house tour and all that, you charge them a fee.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to offer you 10% on any booking or any person that you send our way that wants to book one of the properties after we do this.
Okay.
That could be something that's viable at least.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to put like in the YouTube, we'll have to put links and stuff in the in the YouTube channel. But so that's interesting. Now, what made you leave your job? What were you doing in Canada before you went to Club Med?
Before I went to Club Med, I was working at, Popeye's supplements?
No.
So like the equivalent of GNC.
Okay.
But it's a brand in Canada. It's called Popeyes. And I was in university.
Okay.
So I was finishing university, playing football, working in a supplement store.
So did you learn anything about supplements?
I did back in the day. I forgot a lot of it now.
I used to own a supplement company. I still own a couple of supplement companies.
Really?
But I used to own a company that manufactured nutritional supplements.
Really? What's the name?
Muscle Feast.
Muscle Feast?
Yeah.
I might have seen you guys in.
It does really well on Amazon. So for whatever reason, like 99% probably 95% of the creatine is made in China.
Okay.
And it has really high levels of impurities in it. And then the Germans make a creatine, but the Germans sell theirs for, say, $12 a kilo. The Chinese sell theirs for $2 or $3 a kilo. So virtually every company in the United States is using the cheap Chinese stuff with all the impurities. We were like we were really the only company on Amazon selling Creapure. So our company sold more Creapure, the branded German stuff.
Creapure is the German brand. Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so we sold more Creapure than anybody in Amazon.
Interesting. Good for you.
And then when it came to protein, I remember we used to sell like unflavored protein, and they asked, we said we were going to start flavoring it, and the customers we had said, don't use artificial ingredients, just use natural, sweeteners. So we came up with a formulation with just cocoa and stevia and vanilla and stevia, and started with those 2 flavors, and I think we got a really good tasting product that's all natural. But there's no like gums in it or thickeners in it. So if a person puts our protein in water and they try to mix it,
it doesn't mix very well.
It'll mix okay. It's just it'll have the consistency of water.
Okay.
So it'll be like drinking a watery chocolate. It's just not as good, right? But no, the company did very well, or is doing very well. And then the other thing we did that was unique was all of our protein was sourced from Europe, and the reason it was sourced from Europe is we could not get any company in the United States to say that their cows were not factory farmed. So every single protein that's coming from the United States, you have, probably 70-80% of the dairy is coming from factory farm cows. You still have old fashioned farmers, and that gets mixed in with that, but you can't buy it separate. And so that's why we paid a premium to get all of the stuff from Europe, because in Europe, hormones are banned. The cows have like continuous access to pasture. They're allowed to be cows. They're not kept in a.
Yeah, and that must be one of the reasons like that you advocate for like leaving the States. Like it feels like just in your business you've named like 4 hurdles that you had to go over because specifically in the States they didn't like have what you were looking for.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that's kind of my story. But
nice, that's great. That's really cool. So I did that, then I went to Club Med. At first I was just going to go to Club Med for 6 months.
Yeah.
I was gonna go and like live an experience or something, and I fell in love with the concept, the mentality of like somebody comes here to live a memorable moment and to feel something special, and you're part of that. And I fell in love with that kind of mindset, and I was there for 6 years, and I went from being a teen club animator.
Yeah.
And when I finished, I was assistant general manager. And then
you must have finished at university then.
I studied psychology in university.
Yeah, but you finished.
No.
Oh, you didn't?
I did a minor in psychology.
But you never you didn't graduate, you're saying?
Well, I graduated my minor.
Yeah.
But I never did my bachelor's.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Must be a little different in Canada. But I'm curious. I was thinking because you had moved up that high, usually you're going to have a degree, but not always.
Oh, no. In Club Med, they almost always promote within the company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's good. Because you need to learn the culture.
So did you learn a lot of the customer service part of the business through Club Med?
90% of it.
And then you get kind of added onto it from there?
Yeah, because in Club Med, I don't know if you're familiar with like the concept, but the staff, they're called GOs.
Yeah.
So gracious organizers.
Right.
And our role is not only to be professional and like assist guests, it's also to create relationships with them.
Right.
Not so like you go to usual conventional all-inclusives. There's a very distinct line between staff and guest. In Club Med, that's very different. So every single meal when I first got there, I had to eat with guests.
Really?
Yeah. So I couldn't go have lunch alone. I have to grab my plate. That's what you do when you first start.
Yeah.
Then when you get used to it, you go see them before you go grab your food.
Right.
Go see them. Hi, my name's Alex. This is what I do here. May I join you for lunch?
Yeah.
And then you go and you sit down and you have lunch and like you ask them questions and you get to know them.
Were they selling timeshares or anything?
No, there's no sales aspect involved.
Really?
It's really just
like a friendly environment.
Yeah. So like a lot of people who travel alone choose to go there because they know that they'll make friends, they'll do a community. And that's how it first started. They were like in Club Med before, it was only tables of 8. Yeah. So when you would go, you would always like sit down with strangers and talk with them and all that. And I love that concept. And like if somebody's like shy, timid, and they're looking to get outside of their comfort zone and like improve their social skills, I would 100%. Yeah, really.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise, man. Likewise.